So, uh, so I'm trying to get comfortable again with being able to speak my truth, to be able to verbalize things that's occurred within my reality and try not to be fearful. Um, and it's hard. It's hard to not be fearful, when, I can't project or I can't really generate energy or I can't hold up my shields or I doubt and I question myself now because the amount of harm, I still always feel like I always do have the presence of God. I do feel like I'm still connected. It is still at the same time like where um, other people can really alter your forms of perception or, if you're supposed to have these forms of embodiments of reality, but it's another thing when another person could really tether to the mind and be able to create a whole nother reality. Um, I mean, it's blessed, and I think that that's an amazing thing that you could do because I think you could do a lot of healing to people with it. For myself, I'm scared, baby. I'm motherfucking scared, baby. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Um, so scared, so scared. If you could knock me out with your fucking mind, I'm scared of you. If you know I'm walking through reality, you could push me with just a mere thought, I'm scared of you. So it's intense for me. um and you know i'm I'm trying to be, like I could vocalize my experience because I do know, there's these very holistic, because that's what I was actually trying to go after. I was trying to go after uh, anything that's healing. So whether it's going to be through that of Christ, whether it's going to be through that of Mother Earth, whether it's going to be through any forms of things, because I believe consciousness is amazing, whether it's going to be through Hindi, whether it's going to be through deities, and I'm like, because I believe in the power of healing so much that it's through God. And, and I'm like, I want to master that. And I remember one time, because, obviously, if you're listening to an artist, if you're listening to any forms of I wouldn't say alchemy, but I would definitely say artist. So the artist is a saint, a sinner, a alchemist, a magician. He's divine, or she's divine as well. Um, but and you do fall into these categories, and you do, especially if somebody's very talented with Dreamscape, very talented and backed by that of a community and backed by that of creating culture. um and I remember for myself, because there's certain ways that you could talk, there's certain ways, but everything, to me, first off, it's one thing when you're going through your reality. So if you've really been around these things, right? Like if you've really been around gangsters, if you've really been around, very godly, holy, good people, if you've really been around real mobsters, if like there's these real attributes of kind of like who you are because you kind of got a little bit of that consciousness. And this is from organic ways of being. And I think also obviously with that of whether it's going to be telerizations or actually remote viewing. um, and I remember being like, and it's like, oh, we'll talk this way. Like, because there's a certain way that you talk to your family, right? Like, if your family's a bunch of mobsters, if your family's gangbangers, if your family's thieves or your family's saints, and, it just, if your family's these really diff things, like, you talk a different way around your family, right? But then when you're around other people, we'll talk this way. Well, no, this is the way that I talk to my family. But it's also like I found it very interesting is because, um, there's a certain vibration or a certain mystical cast, whether it be any form of dialect, whether it be any form of anything, and that's the best way that you could do a healing onto another person, is by getting into the same frequency and the same vibration, to be able to perform that of a healing onto a person. So it's not necessarily to for myself to create culture, to create, these things. Like, to me, my more things that I've really ever wanted to do is to be able to heal. um so being able to get into these similar frequencies of all people, um so you could be able to heal all people. um However, obviously when you fall underneath these different things, it's sometimes it's marketable, I think. Sometimes, sometimes reality can really take a mix or a toll on you. And especially if you're a good heart, because you actually have the intentions for healing and loving that of people. When there's people out there that are looking to deceive or abuse that of a good heart or a good individual. um so you know and I think I think now it's trying to be able to ground myself, being myself again, uh being like my own energy when I've known other people are just holding it, or and I'm like, I'm not able to be myself. I'm not able to be my authentic form of who I am, which is a mixed person that holds love for all people. And it's like, and I'm battling this, and then it's interesting because all of a sudden it's like, can't be too gay, can't be too straight, can't be too aggressive, can't be, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, no, I'm like, none of this makes sense to me. None of that makes sense to me because I think, you know, I think that you're supposed to be able to defend yourself. I think you're supposed to be able to, um, you know, be you. But it's, whenever you got like these realities that there's so many people that are like, this is your highest form of education, or the highest form of technology that we have going on for you, muggle, for you, slave boy. And it's the telephone. It's, because I don't have the metaphysical arts. I don't have the teachings of these divine things like where other people in America, they're using the metaphysical arts to suppress you from your true power, and to be able to hold you captive. And then so much so that you pretty much have to obey, because if you don't, they're able to turn everybody against you, or they're able to make you seem so insane and so crazy that the only thing that you got left to do is to obey. Um, and it's a challenge because, you know, you're wanting to learn how to be a better person for the world. You want to learn how to be able to unite and be these divine things, versus that of being this revengeful, spiteful, hateful person. Because you can't really look and be like, I'm gonna be mad at everybody that's in the United States that knows of the harms that are being placed onto citizens. I'm supposed to seek revenge. Yeah, and you're looking at your neighbors, or you're looking at, even a friend that's tethered to your mind, or, that's going to send you off to go rewired because they're friends with this consciousness that they're allowed to get away with the harms of, dispowered citizens. Um, it's hard. It's hard to have a best friend that is trying to get you to say you're being raped by somebody that you didn't. It's hard when you have a friend that is literally going to assist on getting you psychically, rewired, energetically whole, energy body broken, mind body broken, psychic body broken, and to still turn around and be like, I don't seek revenge. I don't seek, because what am I supposed to do? And I don't think it's necessarily about you being scared. I think it's about you just being able to realize that the worlds of truths that are going on within that of the world, and being able to come in and be like, I acknowledge it, and I'd rather be a force to help protect people from the things that have occurred in my reality, and to wholeheartedly mean it and to feel it. Um, and I mean, I think some of the stuff is gonna be cool. The telerizations, the being able to help with scent, and like visualizations and stuff like that. I think there's, rather than people abusing it onto you, I think the teachings of it, which would be the most divine and most beautiful, which is kind of sad. These people get these really divine teachers and these very beautiful, healthy ways of learning and teachings, and then they go ahead and they completely do a whole flip on you and make everything on the opposite, because they're able to wave over your mind. They're able to throw so much fear at you. They're able to manipulate you. So they take these very divine, beautiful teachings that are blessed by that of God, which is my true feeling of it. And they're able to really harm you. And they're really able to enslave you and pull you away from your families and cause more harm onto your being. And it's hard.